my group and me will be presenting our assignment for engineering project management. So here are our agenda for this project introduction, and then client details and also video details. Right. So we go with the first one, project introduction. For the background, our project is to compensate the effect of COVID-19 to the student, which is we want to build a new and advanced laboratory setup that is needed, where the student can have a real world experience despite being just in the laboratory. It's okay. So the hardware that we choose for this project is virtual reality or VR. It gives 3D visual of things of object, and the advantages is hands-on, which is it provides hands-on experience in digital world. Next. So the objective for this project, the main one is to provide the best learning platform for engineering students. So to achieve that, we have to give experience, which is prepare the engineering student for the real world experience in engineering architecture and system. And then we want to give interactivity, which is create an interactive session of learning between lecturers and student. And for technology, we want to introduce the engineering student to the advanced technology and equipment of engineering. And for hands-on, like I said before, to give a partial world hands-on activity to match the experience learning in physical classes. Next is our target deliverables, which is would be floor plan, budget and cost, software of system, wiring system, application software, manpower details, and also schedule of work. Right, so this is the milestone of schedule of project. Alright. So this is the limit and exclusion for our project, which is the lab will be built based on the design requirement and specification agreed initially by vendor and the owner. And the owner will be responsible for the process of landscaping, and owner would not provide any resources for the project. And then the space of the new laboratory would be at the old laboratory, which means the process of upgrading would be done there. Alright, and then for time window for this project is 6 months. But due to COVID-19, the planning would need to be altered accordingly.
Okay, continue on with the client detail. First of all, we want to we make an invitation to the tenderer. As you can see from the picture that is shown from the screen, there is two types. First is the normal, and second is where we give out the tender process and also the time schedule. We also give out the details on the tender notice, the registration date, the closing date, and also the evaluation date. So continue on with the slide. We give a multiple instruction to the tenderer. That is 11 instruction. That is first of all introduction, tender document, tender requirement, submission of tender, opening of tender, evaluation of tender, award of contract, inspection of acceptance, payment terms, after sales requirement, and miscellaneous. As you can see, can you move back? Yes, as you can see from the screen. In the report, we put all the details, but in this presentation, we want to show you what we have done in our report. Okay, continue on. I will give it to Cerah Ashraf Naim.
Okay, to continue from mid-one, so this is the details of equipment, specifications, and service requirement that we want to request. So for the introduction, many laboratories are required to be set up to the student with the necessary practice skill. So this is the invitation tender is aimed to purchase the laboratory equipment listed in the table below. So next. So this is the hardware and software that we request. The number one is programming software. So we request for the license at least 3 years. In this programming software, because we want the student to able to analyze theoretic algorithm and use all the programming language they learn. So next is the simulation software. Also, the license we request at least 2 years. This is for the student to make the simulation for the laboratories. The next one is a virtual lab. The next virtual lab we request for 16 set because we will give it to the 4 engineering department, which is electrical, mechanical, civil, and biomedical. So this is the this uh that support the VR back for what we want. So next. So the number 4 is electronic kit. As we know, we also need some electronic kit for the lab. And the last one is the 3D design software, such as the AutoCAD, CAD, SolidWorks, and so more. We also request for 3 years license. Next. So for the service requirement, the first one is installation and commissioning, because we want to install all the apps and the programming simulation. The second one is warranty, because we want warranty for our lab uh, apps. So the third one is training, because we want the lab demonstrator to know how to teach the student about these apps or this virtual lab and others. So that's all.
Okay, so for bidder, it is my part. Next. This is the letter to the tenderee. As you can see here, at our letter, we also include the agreement that have we agree to fulfill the contract. And other than that, we also has to notice that we has reviewed all of the tender document in detail, including the revised document and all reference that related to attachment. Other than that, we also agreed to provide all the data and information in accordance with the tender requirement. So together with this later, we also come with our company detail, but we will go more detail about our company at the next slide. So the details of our company, as you can see here, our company name is jatceriebunwan Berhad, and our address is level 104 Menara Gading 46000 Petaling Jaya, Selangor. So you can contact me at 010-987-6543, and can save my name as Izzat Fahmi bin Haizir. So this is our email address. So about our organization, our company is a private limited company. So our company is also not a subsidiary of another company. So for number 3 and 4, as we are not any subsidiary of any company. So for number 3 and 4, it is not applicable. For number 5, yes, we has already registered for the GST. And next, we also doesn't have any address that is different from what told above. So for the form of tender, as what have been required from the tender, we agreed for all of the agreement that what University Malaya request us. Uh, Next. Okay, next we move to the pricing schedule. This is some items that have been shortlisted from the what tenderies want. So we provide the price of each items. For the programming software, we have MATLAB and SolidWorks that is which is required for 3 years license, and price per unit is 4,500 for MATLAB and 6,000 for SolidWorks. So for 3 years license, the total is 30,500 for MATLAB and 18,000 for SolidWorks. And next for the simulation software, the simulating software also want a 3 years license, but it is a package from MATLAB license, so the price unit is basically zero. So next for the virtual lab, the requirement is video card RTX 2070, and price per unit is 2,500. CPU will give i5 1000. Next, the video connectivity, which is HDMI. The price per unit is 70, and the USB port is will come along with the motherboard. The operating system Windows 10 is 150. The most that is request to us is Logitech G402, and it will cost around 150 ringgit. Mousepad is 55. Keyboard, which is RK100 model, 250, power adapter 150, and finally VR set 300 ringgit. So all of this is required for 16 unit as the tender request for 4 lab at the University Malaya for engineering lab. So the total amount of this 16 unit is 50,000. So next for electrical kit, for the electrical kit we have such as switch, resistor, logic gate, breadboard, amplifier, wires, transistor, and batteries. So all of this kit will come together for 2,000 unit, and each unit will come with 25 ringgit. So the total amount of all of the item that are required is 165,600 ringgit. Next. Next, we move to division list. As you can see here, we have items for programming software, simulation software, 3D design software, which is all of these three require 3 years of license. Next, we have high spec built-in desktop. As mentioned in pricing schedule, we already talk about the spec. And next, we have virtual reality system, which is we are using VR based mechanical laboratory experiment. So this VR will provide HTC Viver Pro full kit that is able to conduct VR based mechanical laboratory experiment. Next. So for the conflict of interest, if there is any indication that a conflict of interest exists or may arise, it is our responsible to inform it to FKUM in writing. So that is one of our guarantee. Next. We also provide after sales service. After the installation of equipment and software, we will ensure that all of delivered products have passed the inspection and are in good condition. Other than that, we also provide 1 week free technical training after installation. Within that period, we provide you the conventional operation knowledge and make sure that you have mastered the performance characteristic of product before putting them into operation. This is what has tender request for. Next, we also provide free software updates until license expiration date. And finally, we also provide 2 years free warranty service, exception for man-made distraction, and additional for about 4 years for service and maintenance.
Okay, moving on to project planning. The figure shows our work breakdown structure broken down into project management, consisting of planning stages, hardware breakdown of VR and computer, softwares, installation, testing, and training as requested by the tenderee. In this project, in our organization, one of the project manager is responsible for this tender. So the project manager has to get two teams with a team leader, with each team serving different functional deliverables. Okay, looking at the timeline, first of all, we can see that uh, after the tender is posted on, I think, 14th January, we took roughly 2 weeks to plan and submit our bidding proposals on February. Following that, further planning for delivery, supply, installation, and commissioning are carried out. Overall, our project is expected to finish within 109 days to meet the deadline at June as proposed by the tenderee, with the planning taking 20 days, supply at 32 days, delivery to tenderee within 12 days, installation within 2 weeks, and finally commissioning of 23 days. And the after sales demonstrations are also given to the tenderee within 9 days after all the setups have been completed. Okay, so this is the budget plan. So overall, the hardware, equipment, software, and commissioning all total up to 104,400 ringgit, with the labor costing around 20,000 ringgit. Okay, so what is project schedule monitoring? It is a process to identify possible factors that may extend the project duration, such as short of staff and budget. So we have to make sure we have the project schedule to ensure best outcome by monitoring quality. You can do this like if a team member needs to have some time reschedule, they need to quickly inform the project manager and discuss to mitigate the issue. All right. So the resources that we have in our company, we have 18 staff on this tender. So we have two teams which serve different scopes, different sets of functional team members. And then for the materials and hardware, we get supplier which we have been ordering from before. It is a trusted supplier. All the computer parts, electronic components, and wiring are from trusted suppliers. And we install and troubleshoot them using our expert engineers and technicians. As for the software, they're also handled by our expert engineers and technicians. So what are our resources constraints? It is the hardware availability. As we know, global hardware shortage is happening at the moment. So how to mitigate this is by having early planning. Other than that, we also have issues with procurement delays, also due to hardware shortage. So we can also mitigate this by early planning and also allocate more time in getting the supplies. As for the risk and issues management, projects can consume additional fund and time due to risks such as performance, scope, quality, or technology issues, environment, health and safety concerns, scope, cost, schedule uncertainty, and also political concerns. That's all from us. Thank you very much.